Record's got a story to be found. We're at Final Dreams. We're at Final Dreams. Let the bands go on.
Hello, VC. The Waxed here. Record store day. I didn't get up early in the morning like a lot of people did. I strolled out of my place after 7 a.m. How did I get anything without waiting since 2 a.m.? But I did. I went to 5 different record stores. And you see some footage in this video of me going to 5 different record stores. Did I buy stuff at every store? No. But I went to 5. I almost went to 7. But traffic was just bad and I was tired, so I came home. But I got a kick-ass haul. So let's go over it right now, what I picked up. So first things first, I got to thank Vinyl Piper, if you don't know him, Chris. He did go to Amoeba and he got there very early in the morning. And I think at Amoeba, you wait in line, they give you a menu and you check off what you want and you wait to pick it up inside. So he picked me up the Mal Waldron Steve Lacy album that was put out by Zev Feldman, but this was put out by Elemental. And this is the only Zev Feldman release I picked up today. And tomorrow I hope to pick up some more online that I wasn't able to get. And in a future video, I'll show you those when I'm able to get them. So the first place I went was Record Safari. Record Safari sometimes participates in Record Store Day. Sometimes they don't. I think the last couple they didn't. But this time they picked up a handful of records. And I was able to get a bunch of the ones I wanted there. There was no line when I got there. I arrived shortly before 8 a.m. And there was probably about 10 people in line. Typically, people will show up because they post a lot of the records they're going to have. And I don't think many of them were very, I need to get here early in the morning kind of records. There were some great ones, and I did get some of them. But let me show you the Record Store Day titles I was able to get at Record Safari. Bam! The Bill Evans Mono. I do have the box, but I want to hear what this mono, the box is stereo. So I picked this up like other people did, and I will listen to it today. One title I wasn't aware of, even though I went over the list, and I did a live stream last night where we went back over the list with the prices, was this Sun Ra record, Pink Elephants on Parade. And what this is it's live recordings, but it's of versions of Disney songs from movies that he did live. And I didn't even know a lot of these were done where I'm from, Washington, D.C. at the 930 Club, which is a club I went to growing up to see mostly alternative acts. But I'm very anxious to listen to this. Getting more and more Sun Ra, but I was assured this was great. So pick that up. Next title is one that I was made aware of on PB Thal, Patrick's channel. I think maybe a year ago he talked about this album, Band X. So this is a private press jazz fusion-y record from a band from Texas. And it was a private press. And another record store who I went to today, Permanent, was involved in reissuing this. And Lance there, I talked to him today, he said he found it about a year ago, and it was a very quick turnaround to put this record out. So there's Lance's name's on there. And Permanent had a ton of copies, so I was going to go over there, but Safari had one and I picked it up. So anxious to listen to this. Okay, now the main reason I went over to Safari is everything was 25% off except the Record Store Day titles. So I picked up a bunch of good stuff here. So I already have, I think, a stereo version of this. Take it out of this plastic sleeve. It's the Modern Jazz Quartet with Jimmy Giuffre. I think Jimmy Giuffre's on 3 songs on this, but this is maybe a second press or third press mono. I think the original mono is like on a black label, but this is a 60s mono label and in really nice shape, so cover's nice. Pick that up. sealed Steely Dan Asia, the Canadian red vinyl version. And as I do, sealed. Pick that up, and you can see the reflection of my camera right there. So this is kind of cool. Very, very nice shape. It's not like buckling or puffy. So look at that hype sticker on there. There you go. Cool on that. Picked this up. It was very affordable. And again, all 25% off. Neil Young and Crazy Horse. Everybody knows this is nowhere. And it's the Steamboat label or Reprise. There you go, Steamboat label. Look how shiny that is. Nice. This was a surprise that this was on the wall. And I don't think this is a very easy to find record. It was only, I think, put out in the UK. This is the Cecil Taylor unit, live in Bologna. It's a double album. I think it's from 1988. Only in England, Leo Records. He's playing with William Parker on bass, Carlos Ward, Leroy Jenkins on violin, and Thurman Barker on marimba, drums, and percussion. And let's look at the label on this one. Kind of plain label. But I think this mainly came out on CD, and this is the only vinyl pressing of this. So cool to pick this up. I think this was a surprise find of the day. Not horribly valuable, like $30 record, but very, very happy to have found this. Okay, next. MoFi Supertramp. If you watch my live streams, I was able to find that Canadian audiophile version of it, and I had been looking for a crazy good sounding copy. And here's the MoFi, the 80s MoFi, and it's in pretty decent shape. There you go. There's the 80s MoFi. So I'll do a little sound comparison, see which sounds better. But I think that audiophile version might be. Okay. I picked up this Japanese version of Coltrane Time. Nice cover. The version I have of this is an 80s digital vinyl pressing. This was not released as Coltrane Time. It was released as a Cecil Taylor album, which it's not saying on here. The name escapes me. But it's John Coltrane, Cecil Taylor, Kenny Dorham, Chuck Israels, and Louis Hayes. Good album. Not too crazy for Cecil on this United Artists replicated label. I think this is an 80s Japanese reissue. King, Kings are good pressing, so got that. And then here is a REM 12-inch of Don't Go Back to Rockville, which is about Rockville, Maryland, near DC. So this is 12-inch. On the other side is that song Catapult Live, a live version of it. And here's the IRS label there. Kind of cool. So, nice. All right, that was Record Safari, right? All those were Record Safari. That was the biggest haul. The next haul, next store I went to, and you'll see in the videos, was a small store in New Burbank called Runout Groove. Very tiny, and there must have been a line of 60 people out the door. I guess it's good for them for people to see a line, maybe, but the store's so tiny and only a few people could go in at a time. Maybe they should have thought about putting the records out on the sidewalk and allowing people to come up in more of a group. But, I couldn't get in there. I shot some video. You'll see it in this video somewhere. But I went over to one of the better record stores. Not that Runout Groove is not one of my favorites. Was Atomic. And Atomic just opened. I went in there, and everything was 10% off. They don't participate in Record Store Day. So I got a kick-ass haul. Picked up this Kenny Barron record, Innocence. This is a bunch of different groupings on this one. I don't even know this label. Wolf. There's the label there. Let's turn it around. So who's on here with him? Jimmy Owens on trumpet, Brian Brake on drums, Billy Hart on percussion, and Gary King on electric bass. Then the other grouping is Sonny Fortune on sax, Rafael Cruz on percussion, Buster Williams on bass, and Ben Riley on drums. Cool. Smoking a cigarette there. All right. This is an album I think everyone should own. It's an ECM record. Gateway. There's 2 Gateway albums. Gateway this one and Gateway 2. Some electrical tape on the top there. John Abercrombie, Dave Holland, and Jack DeJohnette on ECM. This is a US pressing on Polydor of ECM. There you go. It's very nicely clean. So we got that. This is an album I have been looking for. This is Barry Unschultz, who I only have as a sideman drummer. This is an album he put out on Muse. But killer lineup. You got Mahul, Richard Abrams, Dave Holland, George Lewis, and Sam Rivers. So I'm anxious to listen to this. I think I tried to get it once on an auction on eBay, but it's a white label promo. Really nice. All right. Then a bunch of Paul Bley albums. This Paul Bley Axios solo piano on the Improvising Artist label, which I think as I recall, and someone could correct me, that he that's his label, I think. But I'll look it up. But that's what as I recall. That's a weird ass pipe there. Okay, another solo one. Alone Again solo piano. Paul Bley. This is on Improvising Artists, but they didn't have the same logo. It's like that W looking logo. I have a few records on that. A Jimmy Jufrey Lee Cornet's record. But there's the logo right there. Yeah. Nice. Blue label. Cool cover. It's a piano with his face on it. Okay. And then this OJC. Paul Bley. I think this is on debut, so Charles Mingus label, and it's Paul Bley, Art Blakey, and Charles Mingus with the hype sticker. I have a copy of this, but it doesn't have the hype sticker on it. And here with the debut label, Turn the Wrong Way. One time I'm going to pull it out and the label will be the right side up. There you go. Okay. Then this is probably the king find of the day. It was on the wall at Atomic at a good price. It's not probably the best copy, but it was a good with the 10% off. And this is shout out to Mark Glassman, who loves this record. This is Maurice McIntyre, Humility in the Light of Creator. He loves this record. I found a copy, a French reissue with a different cover, but I wanted to get this one. And let's look at the vinyl. They're on that Delmark label. I mean, it looks pretty shiny. I'm going to clean and listen to it. Maybe it plays a lot better. There are some scoochy marks, but you know what? Right now, in this light, it looks really decent. So very happy to pick this up. Thank you, Lloyd. It was Lloyd Ferguson's copy. Now I have it. I'm not writing my name on it. Okay. Last but not least, I did go to Permanent. I actually met Vinyl Piper there where he gave me that other record. And Vinyl Piper had 2 copies of records that I didn't see around today. And this is the one I think a lot of people went and got, was the Gandalf repressed by Jackpot. I'm not 100% if this is a limited edition color variant. And then maybe later on they'll put out a black vinyl. So, but I'm interested in listening to this. So this was very sought after today. And then from what Vinyl Piper told me, this is another one. And this might just be a limited to only today. Like 50, I think this might have been less than 2,000, maybe 1,500. Does it say? No. Kevin Gray cut this, by the way. This is another Kevin Gray. SRC. Another psych record. I think this is very sought after. I know this is 1,500, but I do not know. It says limited edition 1,500, and maybe it's only coming out today and never again. So I picked this up. And here was the find. at Permanent. While Permanent's small too, but it wasn't a ton of people out the door. It was out the door, and when you go in, you can look through the bins before up at the front. They had all the store day records. So I was looking through the bin, and bam, second time in a month, I found this hard to find Bobby Timmons Chung King record, and the copy I have is a green label. I think it was only repressed like twice. But this is the OG. Came out on the blue Trident label. Let's take it out of this. I really don't like the Japanese sleeves. I don't like them. But this cover is gorgeous. It's very nice. There's no wear, except maybe buckling of the, plasticky laminate covering. But look at this sucker. Bam! Again, I didn't pull it out right. Bam! Blue Trident label. Van Gelder and the Dead Wax. Beautiful. Killer. It was a good price. Ended on this. This was Record Store Day, people. Finding Record Store Day records and supporting the independent record store with buying regular records. So, I think that was a good haul. You think that was a good haul? Leave me a comment. What were some of your favorites? What were you able to pick up? And then what are you going to pick up tomorrow morning when everything goes online like me? Probably a lot of those Zev Feldman jazz records. I'll probably get 2 or 3 of those. So until next time, as I used to say back in the olden days, the waxed out. Bye.